Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to today's message. I'm going to talk a little bit today about peer pressure. Do you know what I mean when I say peer pressure? Let me give you an example. Have you ever had a moment where your friends were all doing something and you felt pressure to do it too? Have you ever had that moment? Or have you ever had a moment where you're in a group of friends and maybe they're doing something, like maybe they're teasing another kid in the lunchroom at school, and you really want to stick up for that kid, but you don't feel like you can because your friends might make fun of you, or maybe your friends won't be your friends anymore, and so you don't say anything? That's peer pressure. Peer pressure keeps us from doing things, and peer pressure has us do things that we wouldn't normally do. Have you ever had those moments in life? Guess what? I have. I was your age once too, and I had moments where I went along with the crowd because of peer pressure. Guess what? It doesn't go away when you get older. When you get older, people still fall into peer pressure. I fall into peer pressure at times. I hear people are buying a certain car, and maybe that makes you kind of feel like you're special, and maybe you buy that car because you feel special, or maybe everybody's going to this one restaurant or doing this one thing, or maybe everybody's joining this one club and you're like, well, maybe I should do that too. Or maybe everybody's buying this certain product or having this certain experience and you're like, hey, maybe I should do that too. It doesn't go away when you become an adult. So boys and girls, peer pressure is a real thing, and it still goes on today, even when you're an adult like me. We have a story today about peer pressure in the Bible, and it's a really sad story, and it's a really icky story. It's the story of John the Baptizer, who gets killed because he's not following the crowd, because he's not fallen into peer pressure. John the Baptizer was speaking truth, and he got in trouble for speaking truth. And King Herod fell into peer pressure and had John the Baptizer killed. It was a party that Herod was throwing. And at that party, there was a young lady who danced for him. And he was so excited about how she danced that he said, I will give you anything you want. And she said, her name was Salome, she said, I want John the Baptizer's head on a platter. Everybody say, ew, that's sad and gross and terrible. And so she asked him, and Herod was like, oh gosh, what's everybody going to think if I say no? So he gave in to peer pressure. And he had John the Baptizer killed and his head brought on a platter to this banquet and given to this young girl, Salome. Ew! Peer pressure. Peer pressure made King Herod do a terrible thing. Boys and girls, we are called as Christians to speak truth. We're called to speak truth in a way in which sometimes it might not be popular. Sometimes it might get us into a little bit of trouble. Now, I promise you won't get your head taken off and served on a platter. You're not going to be like John the Baptizer. Thank goodness. But when we speak the truth, when God calls us to speak the truth, maybe you're in that lunchroom with your friends and they're making fun of that kid next to you at the other table and you say, no. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And maybe you go and sit with that kid. Your friends, they may not want to be your friends anymore, but guess what? You did the right thing. Or maybe speaking truth might be if you see animals in your little world and you want to make sure people are taking care of them, or you see stories on TV where animals are being abused and you're like, that's not right, and you speak up about it. Or you hear about animals going extinct because people aren't taking care of them and you're like, that's not right. That's you speaking truth. Now, some people might not like that. Some people might not like that at all. but you're speaking truth. Or maybe you hear stories about children who are starving in other countries, or maybe even starving right here in our own country. And you're like, that's not right. Kids shouldn't be starving. And you speak truth and you make sure you're heard. And you know, you might even be heard to the point where adults go, okay, all right, yeah. And you're speaking truth. Maybe some people won't like it, but you're speaking truth. That's good. Sometimes, you know, boys and girls are adults that we can turn our back on things because maybe we don't want to deal with it, or maybe we have too much stuff, worries on our plate, and we don't want to worry about another thing. And we need kids like you guys to speak truth to us, to say it's not right. It's not right that this is going on, or it's not right that that's going on. And we need your voice to speak truth to us as adults. And then we can go, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're speaking truth to me. Thank you. Okay, I need to be reminded. It's important. Sometimes it's not popular. Sometimes it's not something that people want to hear. But when we speak truth, we're not going along with peer pressure. When we speak truth, we're standing on our own. We're standing on what makes us feel important and right and good. And that's going against peer pressure. Jesus tells us that we need to stand up for what's right and good, no matter what age you are. No matter what age you are. You matter. You make a difference. You're important. And what you have to say is important, boys and girls. I want to tell you about something exciting coming up. I know we were trying to do the parking lot worship. It didn't really work out that well. We're doing something different. This Wednesday night, we're having our first outdoor bonfire time. It's going to be at 6:30 every other Wednesday. This is the first one coming up this week. We're going to be over by the playground at the church. There's like shade trees there. Bring your lawn chairs or your blankets. We're going to have guitar music. We're going to have a kid-friendly message like this. And we're going to have communion, and we're going to have other stuff that's kind of very family-friendly. I want you to come out for that. And then afterwards, we may have stuff like things like s'mores. Do you like s'mores? Or ice cream sandwiches, or suckers, or other things. And we'll have some fun. We might even play some games. I have a friend who came. To say hi. This is Oliver. You remember Oliver? A video a long time ago, Oliver was on that video, and he's back. And I know every time I put Oliver on the screen, I get the most views. So here he is. Here's Oliver on the screen. He might even show up to the outdoor worship service on this Wednesday night. So come, maybe you'll see Oliver and get to say hi to him. He's a fluffer. I like him. Boys and girls, don't go with peer pressure. Stand on your own 2 feet. God needs you to do that. It may not be popular, but it's important. Let's close with a word of prayer. Repeat after me. Dear Jesus, we love you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for summertime vacation. Help me to stand on my own 2 feet. Help me to speak truth where it's needed. Lord, give me faith. Bless my family. Bless my friends and pets. And bless me. Amen. Oh, he's scratching at me again. Come here, Oliver. He's scratching at me again. Here I am. You have an amazing day. I hope to see you on Wednesday night. And then we're going to go every other week. I hope to see you Wednesday night. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. And just think about how you want to speak truth. Even speak truth to your parents and help them to learn something too. God bless. Amen.